This is Michael Thomas, and today is the 28th of April, 2023. It's approximately 6:30 a.m. and I spent the night here. Paying my respects to Mum and Dad. Spent many a happy time in places like this as religious folk. Not something I was into myself. During the night I did, for the first time in decades, say a couple of prayers as we venture out on the final leg of our journey. Snow's falling quite heavy. Destination is simple. Chernogorsk dock area. I think it's safe to say we know where the rats have hunkered down for the winter. I think we found their headquarters up in the apartments. But I need to see for myself the industrial area where my father first fell. First suffered a setback in his ill-fated journey to try to get back to us. Food, water, the cold. That's not my enemy any longer. That's not my fight. My fight is with my own demons. Do I have the strength to carry on beyond this winter? Part of me wants to join Mum and Dad and Tony in whatever afterlife there may or may not be. Another part wants me to see if those rats scurry out of their holes when the snow melts away. It's pretty much a coin toss situation at this point. There's the train tracks. Bridge that leads over to the hospital, the main part of Chernogorsk. I have no quarrel there today. My pilgrimage is going to take me this way. There is a guard shack en route. May check just in case there's some 45 for our Colt. Only for immediate supplies. We have no need for longer term supplies. We're coming to the end. The industrial. I've read my father's journal overnight, studied the part where he bumped into Mongolia. The man he forgave, despite that man putting a couple of slugs of 22 into him. He mentioned a container in the dock area parallel to Brig, which is that way. I'd like to at least pay homage to the first part of town where my father fell. Nothing of use to us here. go deeper into the dockland. I know this area pretty well. I had a couple of summer jobs down here working on the ships. I'll know when I'm close to the area that my father wrote about in his journal. Tiredness is of no consequence to me. Any of these larger buildings could be a place. Bandits, raiders, thieves, cowards call their base of operations. You know, their main base is probably in that apartment with the 700 barricades put on the stairs. How much of a coward do you have to be to want to need to hide behind so many doors? What are you hiding? Your own shame? I know all about that. Got a couple of green slugs ready for anybody who peeks their head out. They may catch me off guard, like they did my father. At least I would have fallen. The knowledge that I was looking, that I was doing something. The end goal. To die with peace and dignity, knowing I tread along a lot of the same path that my father did. Little military area is over there. It might be worth poking in. Again, some more 45 crafts. Beautiful dawn. Another beautiful day in Chernogorsk. Today could be a good day to die. Sure. These are these military tents. A sandbag area. Peruse over. No longer worried about putting my head over the parapet. Someone wants to do me the honors. It'll save me having to build up the courage to do it myself. Clothing. No ammo. Would only imagine if very lucky we would find 45 for the Colts. Extremely lucky and would find a few more shots for our AK. Look at that sunrise. Beautiful. Let's take a picture and commit it to memory. A virtual picture, of course. What have we here? Novichok. Don't need food anymore. Not where I'm going. More clothing. A magazine for the cold, nothing in it. And more clothing. AK wooden handguard. Oh. Doesn't go with this one anyway. Plenty of tactical shirts. Where the hell did these clowns go? Leaving all this clothing behind. No wonder we see so many of those bare-chested creepers. Just down this hill. Through the gap in the wall. We won't be far at all from where my father described. It really is looking like a beautiful day to die. There's another guardhouse along the road. Might be worth taking a peek at. We will literally be 100, 200 meters away from where my father described crossing over from Prig, concussed. The fella was only looking for fishing materials when he was accosted from behind. Many of these things are milling around this guardhouse. Quite a few. Let's deal with this one on his own. Not today, demon. Not today. It's pinkish purple haze. I wonder if my lack of sleep is causing me to look at things in a different light, quite literally. A combat helmet. For a final battle, perhaps. Don't need to take that one on. Circumnavigate this big wreck of a building. I'm beginning to think I can hear things. Things that aren't there. Bumps in the night, in the dawn. Look at that. Like Mum and Dad are calling me home. Getting closer to where he described that final interaction, or that first interaction. Look at that. Committed to memory. Maybe the Lord does work in mysterious ways. And has given my final hours, my final minutes, even, this picturesque backdrop. might have one final chance of finding some epoxy. Fix up our ballistic items, ready for maybe one last battle. That's the area my father described crossing. Towards containers. And the one where he fell to Mongolia was next to a big factory building. Was he sniped from a tower, such as that one? The haze is just sucking me in. And there's a factory. Has a ladder next to it. Could have been a rooftop sniper if the container where Dad fell was close. Around here somewhere. Was it this one? Is there a line of sight from a building over there? Was it further down? There's the guard shack he wrote about. Arson. Did Mongolia have a camp? A base? Around here? I'm doing my father a service if I didn't check it out one final time. Even if we had 1% chance of getting revenge. Can't see any gates, can't see any flagpoles. We keep checking. I believe it was one of those containers where he fell. Could have been sniped from there. No epoxy, no leather kits. Looks like those rats have cleaned up around here. None of those containers are accessible. They are. Could it have been one of these? Where he fell. Maybe I'll get a chance to ask him. If all those prayers weren't for nothing. Hey, Terry? Potential for a large base. Nothing. Or sniper positions. I could see why they might want to call this home. Mongrels. Is that rising sun drawing me on? In effect, guiding me. If they had a base here, even if it had decayed during the winter, I feel we would still see signs, leftover materials, shattered gates. We keep moving forward, one foot in front of the other. Keep your eye on the roofs, Mike. Keep your eye on top of those silos. From Dad, and from what he wrote, he was early in his journey. He had no firearms, no way of protecting himself. He was concussed. He probably moved around with the naivety and the willingness to always see the good in man. And was easy pickings. Least we could do is take as many of these bastards with us. His head has decayed so much, his hard hat doesn't even fit him. Beetlejuice head, motherfucker. Anybody home? Mongolia? You here, boy? Shot my father, you son of a bitch. Now you're probably hibernating in some hole. Tucked away, sucking your thumb like a little bitch. A blue tin building. At the prime. At the prime location. For a base. Prime real estate. For a band of bitches. It's all open and abandoned to me, though. Could be worth checking Prig, of course. There is a well. Even rats have to drink and hydrate themselves. Pretty much the end of the industrial area. Craig is just across from our location. could see those type of people being the types that would stay just enough, just within range of their headquarters, get their materials from over there, take advantage of poor souls looking for materials. They have some residential buildings they can cook in. They have a well. I looked for him, Dad. Howard was in hiding. I'm glad I walked the path that you walked, though. Some more of the way. Like where we fished. Both fished on the way to Mogilevka. Probably in the same stream. Probably very close to where you fished. In the way you taught me as a boy. Found their headquarters. Anyone who finds these tapes will now know if their base crumbles, deteriorates over the winter, as the snow melts, these rats haven't got many brain cells. If they can come up with one plan, they'll probably regurgitate that plan over and over. So as spring sets in Chernogorsk soon, they'll probably need to rebuild, regather, re-raid, and pillage. And I would put a fair few dollars down that they would build their base of operations in exactly the same location. So anybody with the heart to take on a fight and take down the bad guys, the fight is no longer in me. Know the location that I describe in my notes. Note it well. Chernogorsk Apartments. If they reassemble or regurgitate those tents, you'll spot them from a mile off. Couple military, couple of blue car tents to store all their ill-earned gains. Take it from them. Be that person who took them down. Father never got to investigate the industrial, this side of the road. I know from his notes he was going to go over to the bus stop and get some food, some clothing, some rags. He wasn't asking for much, but Mongolia got in his way. But I repeat again, I hope somebody finds these tapes. Someone with enough fight in them, enough resolve and resources, maybe enough reason to try to take them down. Maybe too many creepers. Pretty sure they were aggravated by my presence. But it could have been by another. I think it was from mine. If my father had found those fishing materials, he probably would have just fished there or off the docks. Just trying to get a meal, trying to fill his belly, trying to get back to his family. Well, you made it up there, Dad. I found you. You might not have found us, But I found you. Maybe I'll find you again. And even if I can't join you because of the things I've done, I hope you're there with Mam, and that you're at least at peace. The vision's starting to go a bit blurry. Lack of sleep impacting. The mental fatigue. This journey kicking in. Just about keep putting one foot in front of the other. I don't even know if you can build on such things. The rats certainly do seem to have abandoned the sinking ship. Maybe one final look from a vantage point. No bigger vantage point than these. Climb is big, the climb is slow. One last look at Chernogorsk and Chernarus itself in all its wintry wonder. If they are gonna scurry out of their holes when the snow melts, I don't want them getting my guns. I don't want them getting my armor. They certainly won't take my soul. Dead eyes tell a story and no story, all at the same time. I hope all those mornings you went to Mass, Dad. All those times you said your rosary, Mam. I hope they weren't for nothing. Hope the pain will go away soon. I hope it wasn't all for nothing. At least my dreams will be pitch black and silent, and not filled with nightmares. I love you, Mam. I love you, Dad. I love you, Tony. I love you, Chernarus. End of message.